My blessed beloveds out there in video land. You're watching Living and Thriving with Rustie, and I'm Rustie. Carmel Lucas will be my guest for today, and I'm super excited to find out what Carmel does, why, and what makes Carmel tick. That's what I do every day. I am so lucky. I can't even tell you the amount of people that I get to meet and talk to and learn about on a daily basis is overwhelming. The excitement and the perspective. It's always a chance to learn something new, and that makes me the happiest person on the planet. So Carmel is joining us and logging in. There's a little bit of a process to how long that takes. It depends on the person, and it also depends on connectivity. And that's always exciting too. Hello, how are you? Maybe she doesn't have her audio on yet. Good morning, Carmel.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Living the dream, girl. Living the dream. What state are you in or country?
I am in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, hi, neighbor. You're 2 hours away from me.
Hi. Oh, you in what? You in
Fort Myers area.
Okay. Yeah.
Not too far, girl. If I would have known that, I would have driven over. That would have been fun.
I know, right? Yes. We would have had a good time. After we're finished, we could go get something to eat and have a good time, you know?
Yeah, girls' day. I could so use that right now.
You're not the only one. Me too.
It's hotter than hell out today.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
I crawled out of bed and I thought my eyebrows were going to fall off. It was so dang hot.
Oh my God. You know what? I crawled out of bed and I'm like, oh, 10 o'clock. Yeah, okay, let me get up and get my stuff together because I'm usually like getting up later.
Mm-hmm.
And plus my daughter has her friends over and they had me up all last night talking.
How
and
old
I'm
are they?
like 15 and 16.
Yeah, mine just turned 16, so I feel you. Boy, they
And I'm,
talk.
oh my God, they was talking about all kinds of things. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, let me go to bed, guys. And every time I get up, go to bed, they was like, don't leave us. And I'm like, no,
I'm
I
too old for
can't.
this.
I can't. Yes, yes.
So, Carmel, who are you? What do you do? And what makes you you?
Well, I think I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. I'm creative. I love being different from anybody else. I'm unique. I can say that. And I do podcasting. I do comedy. I'm a stand-up comedian. I do motivated speaking. I do creative writing. I model. I act. I do a lot of things. You know, I try to create different things. I direct. I direct some things. Like I directed a commercial. I directed a couple of music videos. So I do a lot of things, and I do it not because sometimes it's not because of the pay. It's because it's my passion, and this is what I love to do. I love to create things and just be me. I do poetry, and I just love doing a lot of things. I don't like being bored. I can't sit on my butt and do nothing. I
Yeah, I'm
cannot.
the same way. I'm constantly training for something, whether it's physical training or mental
Right.
training or getting some certification in something.
Right.
I'm not that person.
No, right. I'm not that person to sit there and be like, oh, what I'm gonna do today. I'm always have plans of doing something today. You know what I mean? I cannot. It's like you losing something if you just sit there and not do nothing. You're losing. Like, I don't see how people can just sit there and not do anything and it's fine with it. To me, that's a boring life. But I just love to have fun. I just love to make people laugh and just have fun.
What do you hope that the audience is going to get from you today?
I want the audience to get that, for my message, that you can do whatever you want. You know, YOLO, you only have one life to live, and you do what you can do. No matter what nobody says about you, or you can't do this and you can't do that. Don't, deaf ears. Do what you feel that makes you happy, period.
I woke
You
up
know?
this morning and I'm like, you know, I'm so close to my ultimate goal. I've been getting great feedback on the show, and I've had some heavy hitters in the industry contact me for some opportunities. And I'm like, I've worked so hard to put all of this together. And every day that I get up, I don't actually know what's going to happen. And I don't know where the conversations are going to go. And I don't know if people are even going to show up. So there's a lot of not knowing. Um,
Right.
but I have a lot of faith in what I do. And I think that's really important to believe that all of your efforts will fruit.
And that's true. You have to believe that everything is going to fall in place. You know, it's going to be some people that it's not going to fall through like they're supposed to. But at the end of the day, as long as you know that you're doing your part, and that's all that matters. And congratulations to what you got going on. And congratulations for the people hitting you up and want to be a part of what you have, you know, because it takes a hard work. People think that's because they see limelight and money and all this. Like, it's not hard work behind the scenes. Behind the scenes,
Mm.
it's ridiculous, stressful, and you have to be able to tackle all of it together. You're like, it's not what it seems to be in the light. You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work behind it.
And a lot of the things that people don't understand is the variety of personalities I deal with. So when
Mm-hmm.
you're on screen, you're one person, but when you're
Right.
off screen, sometimes I get a little divas sometimes that are.
And I believe it. You deal with a lot of people that's like that, and it takes a strong person to deal with that, you know, because you can go off your rocket and say what you want to say, you know, but it takes a strong person to deal with people's personalities. And dealing with people's personalities, everybody's not going to like what you do, right? And they're going to tell you, I don't like this, I don't like that. They complain. And that's what's wrong with the world today, right? They complain about things that shouldn't even be complained about.
Well, my favorite is when they expect me to do everything, including all of their marketing slides for their own marketing. And I'm like, oh, you're not paying me for
What? Are you
that.
serious?
Yeah. And I just, there's a few of them where I was like, you know what? This isn't going to work. And I
Right.
didn't, because my time is my time and it's valuable, and our time together is hugely valuable because we get to have great conversations, and I love that, and you love that, and the world gets to experience that, but
Right.
don't overstep.
Exactly. You shouldn't, but people do. You know, people overstep, and I think that's human nature. Think they can control a lot of things, you know, and that's just how people are.
How is that in the world of comedians? I mean, I'm sure you deal with a lot of the same kind of stuff.
The world of comedians is um, hard for a woman. I feel we have to put extra hard and go harder on stage than anybody, because the men are it's so easy, and once you get that respect, it's all good, you know. And you know, me being a female comedian, I haven't pushed it as much as that because I was traveling. I'm just starting, since everything opened back up. Now I can get back on stage, you know. And so I've been on stage hosting for a Pizza Avenue restaurant. And I've been having open mic for the community to come together and just have fun together. So I've been doing that and just dealing with the community and stuff like that. And everybody loves it. They came out and they had a good time today. I'm crazy, but that's okay. Because
I
I think
love open night. I love open mic. Like, that's my favorite thing other than a live.
yeah, and you get the chance to see talent, or you get a chance to see people that's trying to fresh up on their talent, and you get get to see other people to network. But the thing about it is, with the talent, is you get to see people's different, how they, you know, their personality and all, you know, and it's really good. So I had a good time. So now I'm starting to get back to start to get back on stage and stuff like that, because I love making people laugh. I think that's the best thing, you know. And then when you get off stage, everybody looking at you like, "Hi, hey, I like you. Let's take a picture." You know, let's do this. And so it's fun, but it's hard for a woman. You just got to go super, super, super hard, and the guys got to really, really, really like you.
Yeah. So when you are, you know, an aspiring comedian, just say that somebody's watching this and they're like, "Oh, I've always wanted to do that, but I don't know how." What are your steps that you would recommend for people who are starting up and trying
Well,
to be a comedian?
I would say try improv first. Go to an improv session or class or something, and start with that, because if you can get off beat and you know, improv is easy but hard at the same time, because it goes off impulse. As soon as that person do something, you have to react to it, and that's a good thing to do. Or go to a comedy class. They have classes for people that wants to become comedians, and you get to go to the class, and they'll show you one-liners and storytelling and all this stuff, and you get to learn which way you want to do your comedy. If you want to be a storyteller, or if you want to be a one-liner, or however, you know. So I think go to a comedy class or improv class, and that's perfect. Start from there, and if everything works out, then you be able to, after you graduate from a class, you get to perform in front of an audience, and that will show if you want to do it or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of stage fright. I mean, I've been public speaking for a really long time, probably more than I want to admit publicly.
Mm-hmm.
But I still
Yeah.
get really nervous, like really stupid nervous.
And yeah, and you know what? And once you get nervous, once you get on that stage, you feel comfortable, right?
Sometimes it depends on the
Sometimes.
audience.
Yeah, because yeah, you be looking at your audience come in, you be like, oh God, it's gonna be one crowd, right?
Oh, girl, yes. And the topics that I speak about are not fun topics. So, you know, talking about
Right.
rape and abuse and trauma. So it really definitely depends on the audience. If it's a whole group of cops, I'm just like, don't have nothing that nice to say about that.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what though? Because sometimes when I first did comedy, I flopped, and I was so nervous. I
Did you
was
cry?
so nervous. I was like, oh my God, when I got on stage, I didn't know which way I was going to go, because I went from improving to stand-up comedy, and I love improv and used to perform all the time. And then I was like, I could do this. I could do stand-up, you know, and I did it the first time. Oh my God, I flopped. And I was like, oh my God, I was in the green room just shaking. I was shaking. And I got on stage, and I just looked at the whole audience. It's like 300 some people out there. And I'm like, oh my God, what is my first joke? I forgot my joke. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I think that's normal, though. I think that's extremely normal.
It was. And they let me stay on for like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. And I was like, get me off this stage. I can't do it. And it was so funny that the guy, the one I was dating at that time, he went and he he went and got me off stage because he saw my front. I was stuck. I was stuck. I was like, oh God. But then after that, you know, everybody asked me, am I gonna quit? And I said, no, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going. That was just like, you know, I was motivated. I was like, oh, I gotta do this. Now I have to do it, you know? And then the next time I did it, I killed it. And so I was like, yeah, I love this now, you know?
So when you write your work, where do you practice? Do you practice in the bathtub? Do you practice walking outside? Do you practice on your poor kids?
I practice on everybody. Nobody is eliminated from me, okay? So so if I see something, I'm gonna write it down, and I'm gonna tell them I'm taking that joke. I'm taking what you just did as a joke, and they're looking at me like I can't do nothing around you. But I do it on, you know, I practice with my mom, my daughter, anybody that comes around, and then I just throw jokes here and there, and they be like, "That's funny, Mom," or "That's funny, you know. And I just write things down as I go, as I see, you know.
It
So
must be a full-time job just practicing, because you want to nail it just right. You want to nail the facial features just right. I'm a fan of deadpan, where you say something
yeah,
like Emu Phillips and Stephen Wright and George,
yeah.
like those are my guys. And it's got to be a lot of work to practice to get it right.
Yeah, it does. And you know, and one of my people that I love to watch is Jerry Seinfeld. Okay. I love him so much. It's just like, it's crazy. I be watching his shows a lot too. But I love him so much. And I love the way he do stand up, you know, and when he be talking to the audience, I see how he reacts. And also George Lopez,
I
you
love George
know,
Lopez. Yeah, yeah.
right. He does a lot of, you know, stuff too. And I'm like, and I look at them, and at first I started dirty comedy. I started with like the Richard Pryor kind of thing, with the Red Fox kind of thing, you
Little Andy
know.
Dice Clay thrown in there. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. And then someone said, someone told me, I was on stage because I did like a drag down stand up show. It's a drag queen show. And with the show, I love drag queens, and I'm a RuPaul fan. Hello.
Who isn't?
I know. And right. And I went to a stand up drag queen show, and what it was all comedians get on stage, and if the drag queens didn't like what they was hearing in the audience boo you, they drag you off stage.
Oh, that could be rough.
Doesn't matter if you're 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, 1 minute in, a second in, they can drag you down.
Oh, girl.
And as people was getting on stage, I think I was like number 13. And as people was getting on stage, I was looking at it, was dragging people down. Ooh, dragging people down. I'm like, oh my God, like this is horrible. They're gonna drag me down. Like, and I was looking around at the audience, and when they called my name, they was like, we're gonna have Carmel on the stage, right? And I'm like, and I get on stage, and I just like toned everybody out, and I just went at it. They let me stay on for 8 minutes, and then when I got off, everybody started clapping. It was like, yeah! I was like, shit.
Wow. Yeah,
Oh
well,
my
drag
God.
queens are particular. They're very, very finicky cats. So,
Right. And then they asked me to come back, so I came back and did another show with them.
that's
Yes.
awesome. Personally, even if I lasted a minute on the stage and a drag queen dragged me off, there's still honor in that.
Exactly. And I just love them because they're so real with themselves. You know what I mean? They're so outspoken. They're so like, this is me and this is what you get. So whatever. You know what I mean? You can love me or you don't. I don't care. I'ma still do what I have to do. And I wish that other people was like that, because I just love the way they are. You know, they're beautiful to me. And I'm like, y'all beautiful. I took pictures with them and everything. I was all up on them.
They must have loved your fanfare.
Exactly. It was so fun. I loved it.
So let's get into the commercial that you made, or commercials. What's that process like, and how do you make a commercial?
Well, I did a couple of commercials. I did one called Red Shoes, and it was about this lady, because I wanted to do something different, you know. And it was about this lady. She wanted to be young again. She put on some red shoes, and she was older, and these red shoes was magic. And she put on the red heels. It's called red bottoms, and she put on these red heels, and she became young again. And so yeah, so I did that commercial, and I did a couple of music videos, you know, for artists, music artists, of course, you know. And so I also did my own movie for my book that I wrote, and I did that because I just wanted to do something different. I didn't care if anybody didn't watch it. It's just that because I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? I wanted people
Right.
to get a feel of what the book was really about, you know.
So
And
what's
I
the
just
book title?
In Love with the Other Man.
Ooh, girl.
Right.
Truth,
It,
partial truth, fiction, dish.
it's erotic and it is fiction. But, you know, it was basically you know, the reason why I wrote the book, because I wanted to do something, again, I wanted to do something with myself. And I was like, I would never thought in a million years that I was going to write a book, you know, and something just told me just to write a book, like, write the book. And then when I wrote the book and I let people read it, and people was buying it, and it went good and they loved it. And I was like, since they love the book, maybe I should do a movie. You know, I'm always thinking crazy things. And then I'm like, I'm gonna do a movie. And I had, you know, this guy, Three Maxing on Nerve production to do it. And I had Hope's production to help me. And they was like, we are honored to help you. And they put everything together for me. And the movie went really well. It was in the theaters for like a week or so. And then after that, I put it on
Yeah.
YouTube. I put it on YouTube, and I put it on my website so people can see it. But you got to be 18 and up because there's some little sexual stuff in there or whatever. But the thing about it is, I did it for my own pleasure, you know, because I wanted to do something. And if someone see it and pick it up, then fine. If they don't, I think I'm gonna start posting it. But I didn't post it like as much as I want to. I just wanted people to go to my website and look at it like that. But I
So do
don't
you
know.
think did you get to do the direction, or were you just more insight and creative energy for the production company? Like what was
I did. I did the directing, the producing. I have the and I written it myself.
Wow.
And they did not. They didn't. They didn't. Whatever I said, they was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, because it's my vision, and they felt like it's your vision. So since it's your vision, we're gonna do your vision the way you want it to be.
What an
And they
honor.
loved it. Yeah. So I directed it. I wrote it, and I produced. I was like, yep, 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 yep. I even and the cast was amazing, and I appreciate them. And but yeah, it's on my website, so it's really, I think it's really good. I revamped it because it was, when I first put it out, it wasn't in order like I wanted it to be. So I asked this guy named Rob. He went to Full Sail University here, and he put things in place that I wanted it to be. And he was like, now it's revamped, and now, you know, I put it on my like I said, YouTube, and it's so good. I love it, and I'm like, I was proud of the product.
Carmel, where can we find more information about you?
Well, you can find information about me on Instagram, Miss MS Carmel Lucas, and you can also find me on my website. It's caramellucas.net. LinkedIn, Carmel Lucas. Facebook, Carmel Lucas. Twitter, Miss MS __ Caramel. And if you want to go TikTok, Carmel Lucas. And you could, my podcast, you can also catch me on Anchor. It's Keeping It Real with Caramel, as we say 100. And my
Yay.
creative writing, Caramel Lucas, Keeping It Real with Caramel Lucas. No, Keeping It Real with Caramel. Yeah.
So what's next for you, young lady? I mean, it's not like you haven't done almost everything cool. Did you
Well,
jumped out of a plane yet, or swam with
no,
whales, or?
no. You know, what's next for me basically is, I don't know. I'm trying to create a game. You know, one of those love choices games.
I have somebody who could probably talk you through that
I'm
process
trying,
if you want to pick
right.
your brain.
I'm trying to do that. Like, it was this lady, she read my creative writing, and she's with Love Choices off of the Lord Choices games, choices and love choice and all this stuff. And it was on Play Store. And she read my thing, and she was like, I love your writing, so can you do something for us? You take your time. You have to have certain kind of words. But I was like, that's fun. This is what I want to do. I love doing different things. And I just, like I said, and then so I'm trying to create this game. And you know, I have to get my mindset, because I have to do the which way direction you want to go, this way or that way. You know what I'm saying? And I have to do that. But I want to do more stand up, honestly. I want to do more speaking roles, speaking. because I have a story, because I've been through so much in my life, and I feel like I can help others to go through it. I just recently found my dad. You
Wow,
know,
good for you. I bet I was looking for the first 25 years of my life, and then I was like, if he wanted to reach out to me, he would have by now.
I didn't feel complete for some reason. I didn't feel complete. I didn't trust a lot of people because abandonment. As I was growing up in life, and I felt like, you know, every man was the same, right? And then recently, I just saw him 2 weeks ago. We just met 2 weeks ago,
And how'd that
and
go?
it went well. And
You
I
didn't
was
punch
so
him?
emotional. You know what? It's so funny that my whole demeanor was to, like, be hardcore,
Mhm.
cuss him out, and
Right.
tell him how I feel. And I'm so mad at you because you wasn't there my whole life. And when I saw him walking through that door, I just broke down. Like, I
Oh,
could not say anything at all because I was like, wow, you know?
yeah.
And he cried, and he was like telling me, the reason why he left and he never came back, but his reasons.
Right.
And I have to learn how to forgive. I can't forget, but I can forgive because I feel like, okay, I can dwell on the past or I can keep it moving in the future.
You
And
got so much going on in your life right now, dwelling in the past. You ain't got time for that, girl. You ain't got time.
exactly. So that's why I told him, if you're going to be in my life, be in my life. If you're not, then okay, it's fine. I'm
Right.
used to it. Used to it. So, and he told me, I'm gonna be in your life, baby. I miss you. And I'm like, okay, like, but yeah, so he was like traveling all over the world. He was a singer, and he's sing with Rick James and the Temptations and all those kind of people. And he's been singing all his life, and he's been touring all his life. And when my mom was pregnant, she was young, and he was older, and he was scared that he was going to get in trouble.
Oh. Huh.
You see that, right?
I see
So,
that. Yeah.
so now I understood it a lot more when he was telling me about it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So my mom's young, he's a little bit older, and he was scared that something was going to happen to him, and he left, and he never came back.
That is a whole entirely different show that we could schedule if you want to get into that depth, because we are running out of time, unfortunately.
Okay, we can do
Um,
that if you want to do
I
that.
yeah, I don't judge, so but I have a lot of questions in regards to that, just questions. So maybe we'll do that at another time.
Okay.
Carmel, where can we find more information about you, you amazing creative? That's all you are, is a goddess of creativity, and I love it.
I want everybody to go to my website. I want them to go to caramellucas.net and make sure you look at everything that I do. Book me, please, for comedy or speaking, or book me for podcasting. You can listen to my podcasting. You can see my poetry. Um, you can look at the movie on it. Just go to films, and there it goes. You just click on it, and it goes straight to the movie, and you can see how I create things, and you can look at my creative writing and good stuff. So go to my website, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm an Instagram person. So Miss Carmel Lucas on Instagram, MS Carmel Lucas. Yes.
So I want to end it on a really high note, because you and I are very similar creatures. We constantly have to be breaking things, putting things together, creating things, moving things,
Yeah.
blowing things up, and that's metaphorical, people. Okay. Um, do you think, or did you ever get as a child, oh, you need to have a career and you need to stay with that career for the rest of your life and become one thing? I rebelled. Like, I was like, no, I want to do
I
this.
rebelled.
This.
I rebelled a lot, you know, because I didn't want to tell me what I should do or what I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this is my life. It's my career, you know, and I can do whatever I want to do. Because at first I wanted to become a model. And I did modeling for a lot of years. And I was in so many magazines. I still have them now. And I was like, I'm just going to be a professional model. And I was like, and they was like, that's not a career. You don't know if you're going to make it. And I'm like, "Ugh, Jesus Christ." But I rebelled a lot. But I'm glad that I did, because I can be me,
Do you
you
feel like you're
know.
more supportive of your daughter and her aspirations because you're able to put your toes in all kinds of different things?
Most definitely. I tell her that do what you feel that you should do. She's already looking at colleges, and she's only 15,
Yeah,
you know. And
mine's dual
yeah.
enrolled, which is a thing that I think is amazing that Florida does. So mine does college in the morning and high school in the afternoon.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, look into it in your school district. Florida's one of the few states that allows students to do dual enrollment. And that was the biggest reason why we're here.
Wow. Well, you need to give me that information, because the thing about it is, like, she's already looking at colleges.
Mhm.
She's so ready to go. And, you know, as we grow up, we want our kids to have the best, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I taught her very young for the responsibilities and choose her path. You know, you choose your path, and, you know, whatever path you go, as long as it's a good path, mom is going to support it, you know. And she's an awesome kid. I couldn't ask for anything better than that. I'm like, oh my God, you're so awesome.
I feel you
Yeah.
on that. I absolutely adore mine too. She's such a good kid and she's got a great head on her shoulders and she's got
Yes,
her
exactly.
vision. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw a bottle of water at you and a towel and cheer you on, but that's all I can do. Right?
Exactly.
Because
And
I
that's
can't
what I do
walk
with
your
my
path.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so proud of you. It's nothing else I can say. Like, you're doing such a great job, you know. And, like, dang, like, I'm so proud. I think I give us props because we're good moms,
Yeah.
and we know what we're being through. We don't want them to go through what we've been through,
Amen, sister. Amen.
you know.
Our half an hour is done, but
Okay.
definitely go to this like today. I think what's today, Wednesday or Thursday? Just call your guidance counselor at her high school and find out about
Okay.
dual enrollment, because it's a 2-year degree and a high school diploma when they graduate. And I know, see that face? That's what, trust me, I know. So
I know
yeah.
you do. So I'm gonna let her know that. I'm gonna let her know that. So she
Yep.
what she. Yeah,
You
I'm
have
gonna
to
let her
have a
know that.
certain GPA to apply, but it sounds like she has that, so I wouldn't worry about it. I would just get
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
yeah. Her GPA is awesome, and I'm like, keep it up, baby, keep it up, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So check it
that's.
out.
I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, Carmel.
Bye bye.
You're watching Living and Thriving with Rusty. I'm Rusty, and I get to do this. I get to meet people from all over the world. Okay, so she's 2 hours away, but that's kind of a different world, Orlando. Trust me, I grew up there. And talk about what makes them tick, what makes them ooey gooey on the inside, what makes them passionate. I get to break them apart a little bit and put them back together so that you have a new perspective, maybe some encouragement, maybe some support, maybe some, ooh, I didn't think about that. I mean, you saw Carmel's face. She didn't know about dual enrollment. What did you think? What are you going to take away? Are you funny? I know I'm funny. I'm freaking hysterical. But I'm not going to stand on stage to be funny. I'm just going to do it in the grocery store in front of my 16-year-old daughter and embarrass her. Joy. Know that you're loved. Know that you're beautiful. And do kindness. Lots and lots of kindness. This world needs more smiling. This world needs more hugs. This world needs more donations. You have a closet full of stuff that you don't use. I promise you. Clean it out. Donate it to a church. Donate it to your elementary school, because there are a lot of families in need right now. Go out and buy somebody a cup of coffee, or hey, if you happen to do one of those fast food restaurant drive-through things and somebody behind you placed an order, you have some extra cash, pay for their order. Don't tell them anything. You don't need to go on Facebook. You don't need any of that stuff. Be kind. We need more of that. Until next time.